Who do we have here?
I'm Jesse Owens.
You're a natural. I don't trust naturals. I will say, you can run. Boy, oh boy, you can jump. What I want to know is, can you win? Let's see what we got here.
People are counting on you. To do what? To get on over there to Berlin and beat those Nazis.
You was put here to run. Don't listen to any of them.
My damn, ain't no black and white. There's only fast and slow. Nothing matters. Not color, not money, not even hate.
Running some type of direction, cause the people going nowhere are the ones that are flexing. I'm not trying to be a preacher, I was never a reverend, but I can take you at the church and show you glimpses of heaven. You better.
For those 10 seconds, you are completely free.
What was your preparation like to become Jesse Owens?
It was long. It was long and challenging, certainly. I was filming, I was making Selma in Atlanta just before I started shooting Race, and basically every off day I had, I would go down to Georgia Tech and train with the track and field coaches there. So for about 2 months prior to, I was working on my conditioning, working on my my weight training, and not only trying to run fast, but trying to run like Jesse. And that's sort of, that continued throughout the whole filmmaking process.
So when you were embodying Jesse Owens and you're standing in the Olympic Stadium where he won those 4 gold medals, and you're standing there at the same exact spot, what did it feel like? What was going through your mind? I
was truly beside myself, man. Truly beside myself. To walk up to the Olympic Stadium, the same footsteps that literally Jesse walked. Especially, I looked at it because I walked in there and no one was there, and he walked in there 80 years ago and there's 150,000 people there. So, for me, it was a very, very real moment, and that's, one of the moments I feel like, I really channeled him, the most.
Now he's just showing off.
We're used to seeing you in hilarious comedies. So what was it about this period drama that attracted you?
The character first and foremost. It felt like something that felt within me. People that I had I played basketball in high school and college, so I had numerous coaches. I've always loved films with coaches and mentors, and I've always enjoyed people that it's not about winning or losing. It's about like the John Wooden approach of it's just about doing the best you can, and then getting the benefits of knowing you've done a good job and worked as hard as you can versus the outcome. And I've always responded to that, and I felt that was Larry's point of view.
You want to win a gold medal?
Sure.
Well, then for the next 28 months, you're either in a classroom or you're on that track every hour, every day. And I don't care about your grades. I really don't. I don't care if your buddies have a keg they need help with, and I certainly don't care if you got a girl at home rolling down her silk stockings with that look in her eye. Do we have an understanding?
Yes, sir.
Good. All right, well, go home, get some rest. 9 a.m. tomorrow, we'll see how good you really are.
So you're the producer and director of this film. Mm-hmm. What made you want to take on this project?
I think the idea of doing something about someone who's a real hero. I don't know, I'm looking around. If I'm a kid nowadays, I'm not sure who my heroes are. When I was a kid growing up, I had Muhammad Ali and Nelson Mandela and David Bowie and all these people who were mavericks in their own right and who would do extraordinary things against all odds, My admiration of this guy was to do what he did in such extraordinary circumstances and not give in and not back down.
Under the Hitler regime, we must not go to these games.
Don't listen to any of them.
You get a chance to be a part of history and you're gonna walk away from it?
I got people looking at me for an example.
I don't care about any of that! Yeah, well, you're right, Larry. You don't have to.
In the film Race, your character, Jesse Owens, was pressured to boycott the Olympics because of discrimination.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the current controversy to boycott the Oscars because no black actors or actresses were nominated?
Yeah. I think it's certainly an important discussion to have and to raise. I'm happy people are talking about it. But, for this film, I think we tried to show people why, it doesn't matter what you look like or where you come from or your whole backstory. You're fully able to accomplish great things. So Jesse never used any of that as a crutch, and he only did things for running, for the love of his sport, and that's so telling, and that's what I feel like people can get from this film.
Yeah. Well, your character struggled with whether he should boycott or not. He's like, I don't know what to do. So are you struggling with that same thing about the Oscars? Will you watch? Will you go?
Mm-hmm. For me, it's not about me or about what I'll do. For me, I really want people to see this film and get inspired by that, and stop thinking about all the things that separate us, and more so about what brings us together.
Well, I think one of the things that bring us together is the underdogs. Everyone loves the underdog.
Yeah.
We love watching them. We love watching them succeed, and Jesse winning those medals.
Yeah.
Have you ever been an underdog at anything?
I feel like an underdog all the time, man.
Oh, no, you don't.
I feel like an underdog all the time. Yeah.
Why?
I mean, I got an older brother. You got an older brother?
Yeah.
You got to feel like an underdog sometimes.
I try to slam him every once in a while.
Yeah. But yeah, no, certainly there's been times where, I felt like I had to, get over hurdles or obstacles, and there's a lot of things I learned from Jesse and took from him that I was able to apply to my own life,
like
which
what?
is great. Just the level of focus and blocking out all the outside noise sometimes. When you love something enough, sometimes you gotta block out everything distracting you from that thing and just focus on that.
Jesse won 4 gold medals in Berlin, but his greatest achievement was paving the way for future black athletes and the black community as a whole, cementing his legacy as a true American hero.